Hi guys, this is your girl Wakeji Kamore and welcome to Reflections by Wakeji Kamore. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I really do appreciate that that you have joined me on this journey as we read a chapter every day and just read through the Bible from cover to cover. Today we are looking at Proverbs Chapter 25. It is my prayer and hope that you have read this chapter for yourself, that you have understood what it is that it's saying, and so that when I read it and you come along with me reading it, that you already have that which the Lord has placed in your heart. I'm going to be reading this chapter word for word from the easy to read version, and I'm going to be speaking on what captures my attention as the Holy Spirit deposits messages in my spirit. Thank you so much for listening, and come along with me. Proverbs chapter 25, it says more wise sayings from Solomon. Solomon had a lot to say, let me tell you guys. He says, these are some more wise sayings from Solomon. These proverbs were copied by servants of Hezekiah, the king of Judah. He says, we honor God for the things he kept secret, but we honor kings for the things they can discover. We cannot discover how high the sky is above us and how deep the earth is below. The same is true with the minds of kings. We cannot understand them. Remove the worthless things from silver to make it pure. And a worker can make something beautiful. Take the evil advisors away from a king, and goodness will make his kingdom strong. I like that. Like there are sometimes your mind is covered by other people's opinion or maybe other people's voices, and sometimes you just need to silence those so then you can actually hear the Lord and become that which God is calling you to be. That's what I'm getting from that verse. Remove the worthless things from silver to make it pure. That means there are things surrounding this silver, and then when you remove them, then it becomes pure, and a person who's working with the silver can make something beautiful out of it. Take the evil advisors away from a king, and goodness will make his kingdom strong. I love that. It says, verse 6 says, don't brag about yourself before the king and pretend you are someone important. It is much better for the king to invite you to take a more important position than to embarrass you in front of his officials. Don't brag, man. Don't brag. Don't be too quick to tell a judge about something you saw. You will be embarrassed if someone else proves you wrong. Verse 9 says, if you want to tell your friend about your own problems, tell them. But don't discuss what someone else told you in private. Whoever hears it will lose their respect for you and will never trust you again. It's actually funny that you think that if someone, let's say, if Nancy came and told me something about herself, and then I went and told, let's say, Lydia, you would think that Lydia would think bad about Nancy, but in this verse it says that Lydia will actually lose respect for me and never trust me again. It doesn't matter what I told them about Nancy. It is me they will not trust again. Verse 11 says, saying the right thing at the right time is like a golden apple in a silver setting. Oh, I love that. Wise advice to a listening ear is like a gold earring or fine jewelry. May the Lord give me wisdom to say the right thing at the right time, to always have a word of encouragement for people, and to just know when to say the right thing. Verse 13 says, to his master who sent him, a messenger who can be trusted is as refreshing as a drink of cold water on a hot summer day. Verse 14, people who promise to give gifts but never give them are like clouds and wind that bring no rain. Or like when you want to sneeze and then the sneeze goes away. That's what it feels like. Why are you promising gifts and never giving them? You're like clouds and winds that just bring no rain. Verse 15 says, with patience, you can make anyone change their thinking, even a ruler. Gentle speech is very powerful. Ooh, may the Lord teach me this. But I'm actually learning I'm learning this to be true. That when you are gentle, that there's a high possibility that you can actually change someone's perspective, as opposed to when you are being, confrontational. It's actually better when you exercise patience and wisdom in the way you speak and being gentle than when you're being confrontational. I have learned that this is coming from a very confrontational human being. I'm a very confrontational human being, and I'm learning to be gentle. And I'm seeing the power of just being gentle. Honey is good, but don't eat too much of it or you'll be sick. And don't visit your neighbors' homes too often or they will begin to hate you. I like this, and I feel like the thing that has come to my spirit even as I read it is everything in moderation, man. Everything in moderation. Even if it's hanging out with friends, in moderation. If it's eating, in moderation. If it's exercising, because people over-exercise, in moderation. If it's working, in moderation. So there's always a right amount for something. Even the things that are good, there's a right amount for it. Verse 18 says, a person who gives false testimony against a neighbor is as deadly as a club, a sword, or a very sharp arrow. Never depend on a liar in times of trouble. It's like chewing with a bad tooth or walking with a crippled foot. Singing happy songs to a sad person is as foolish as taking a coat off on a cold day or mixing soda with vinegar. It's almost like pointless. That's just basically what the Bible is saying. Singing happy songs to a sad person is pointless. Wow. If your enemies are hungry, give them something to eat. If they are thirsty, give them some water. This will make them feel the burning pain of shame, and the Lord will reward you for being good to them. I like that, but I'm also asking myself, like, if I'm doing it so then they can feel shame, am I still like a good person? Like, if I'm doing it, I'm being nice to them just so that they can feel bad, am I still being a good person? That's just something I'm asking myself. Verse 23 says, just as wind blowing from the north brings rain, telling secrets brings anger. Wow. It is better to live in a small corner of the room than to share the house with a woman who is always arguing. That's so true. Good news from a faraway place is like a cold drink of water when you are hot and thirsty. Verse 26 says, good people who don't stand strong against evil are like springs that have been polluted or pools that have been turned dirty and muddy. Oh my goodness. That's a really good verse. It's almost like the statement that says, bad things happen when good people are silent, So good people who don't stand strong against evil are like springs that have been polluted or pools that have been turned dirty and muddy. So even if you're a good person, even if you're a believer, even if you are Holy Spirit filled and going to heaven, you need to take a stand against evil. You need to take a stand against evil. Otherwise, you're not even being the salt of this world. You're not being the light of this world. You're just like a polluted pool. Sasa watu wanaona tu maji ikiflow hapo, but they can't even drink from it. Completely useless pool, isn't it? Higher, verse 27 says, just as eating too much honey is not good, it is not good for people to always be looking for honor. That's interesting. People who cannot control themselves are like cities without walls to protect them. Control. That's the end of this chapter. But the thing that has really, really caught my attention is verse 16 that says, honey is good, but don't eat too much of it or you'll be sick. Like, just have, even good things have a limit. I like that. I liked also verse 15 that says, with patience, you can make anyone change their thinking, even a ruler. Gentle speech is very powerful because that is a lesson I'm currently learning. And I also really like that the verse that says, good people who don't stand strong against evil are like springs that have been polluted or pools that have been turned dirty and muddy. That actually challenges me because sometimes I'm like, my head is so buried in the sand that I'm not doing anything about stuff. Like, I'm just like, yeah, this is wrong, but yeah, I'm just moving on with my life. And that's a really, really wrong position. Even as a good person, I need to take a stand against evil. Thank you so much for listening and see you tomorrow.